Sure.
The location APIs, we don't have those in Platform Preview 1. Certainly our mobile team's very excited about that, so we have discussions there. In terms of the data storage, we're very involved in the various discussions in the web app working group about that. They're really different implementations. Yeah. John can speak to that, and it's not ready yet, I don't think. But
yeah, I think with a lot of the database storage, you see, like, I could probably count 4 or 5 different ways you could do storage in browsers today, or different models out there for doing it. One is, I think the spec is currently called web storage. It was pulled out of the actual HTML5 spec into a separate spec, and it's what Internet Explorer 8 supports, as well as several of the browsers. Then there's a database version of it that you can get in WebKit. Right now only in Safari, I think it may be in Chrome nightlies, and that I think Opera was working on, but that isn't in Firefox or IE. And what's going on in the working group right now is we're just talking about whether or not that approach is the right one. So that one depends on the actual SQL language or the database language of the database you use. So it's effectively saying that every browser would have to use the same underlying database as everyone else, which creates a lot of complications depending on whether or not you base that on an open source version or on a proprietary version or whatnot. So what we've done is we've gotten together with Mozilla and Oracle. There's currently a spec called IndexedDB, which kind of provides a layer of abstraction above the database. So browsers can choose whatever database implementation they actually want to use underneath. And for web developers, you don't have to worry about which database the browser's implemented. So it's something that we totally agree. You know, it's a very important area, and it's one of those that we kind of see as a little bit more future that we're working on now in the working groups, but isn't quite there and ready to be in our shipping product.
So, yeah, over here. Was that the ES5 support?
Yeah. So the question was about IE9 support for ECMAScript 5. So Internet Explorer 8 does some of the ES5 features. For example, JSON is kind of the #1 feature. And there are other places where the new engine, so ES5 just became a final approved spec this past December, and it's an area where we've made improvements. So, you know, our 55-point ACID3 score, I think 5 of those extra points since IE8 are just in ECMAScript tests. So we're continuing to do a lot of work to make our JavaScript engine compliant with ES5. Right now, it's mainly around some just kind of bugs and interoperability fixes, in addition to what we had in IE8, but it's an area that we'll look to keep improving, and again, always based on ES5, since that's the latest version out there.
What about web workers?
You know, thank you for the microphone, by the way. That's a good plan.
Web workers is another one where we're interested in, you know, kind of learning more about what some of the scenarios are that you're most interested in, and whether or not those are the parts of the platform that you take advantage of right away. And when we've been listening to customers for the past, forever, but really since we started Internet Explorer 9 after shipping Internet Explorer 8, the place where we see the most focus in the customer request and other things has really been around graphically rich. And, you know, while some areas of specs, maybe it's web workers or other parts, are more stable and kind of ready, there are other parts of it, like maybe some of the database and storage work, that aren't quite there yet. So, our focus right now is to really do a great job of making sure that, these graphically rich HTML5 apps are enabled, and then to their full potential, which is why we do them on the GPU. There's another person at the mic.
Do you support color profiles in video files?
I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that. I didn't even know there were color profiles in video files. That's neat.
That's why Ted's here to answer those.
That's right. But I will find that out.
Okay. Also, you said that you support ISO files. It sounds like you support MPEG-3, and it sounds like you support QuickTime files with the right audio and video content. Do you support any other container formats?
We support an MP3 container with, or what is it, an MPEG-1 container with an MP3 for audio because of the popularity of that. Really the focus is on MPEG-4 container with 264 and AAC as the audio in it. And we don't explicitly do QuickTime. I guess the extension on the files out of my camera were that, but I suspect if I just change the extension to MP4, it would work as well. So
The file formats are almost the same.
Okay.
So you probably do support
Okay.
QuickTime, because if you treated it as an MPEG-4 file, it actually wouldn't work right.
it
But
would not work right.
No. There are a few things in the file format that are subtly different.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm going to go find out. I wasn't told that we specifically supported QuickTime files, so either
Right.
we do, and I didn't know that, thank you, or this file extension on here just lies, which is,
Sure.
I don't know.
Hi. Are you guys going to support the Canvas and the CSS3 animations?
It's not in Platform Preview 1, and all the graphics we do in IE9 will be GPU accelerated. That's all I can say right now.
Any plans for Theora or VC1?
No, I don't believe so.
Any plans to do anything adaptive or more secure to the HTML5 video tag?
Not in IE9. I think, that's where, there are good solutions, as we've heard at this show, around what I would sort of consider higher-end video, whether it's Silverlight or Flash, and for IE9, we won't encroach on that level of functionality.
I think there's another question. You can run the Internet Explorer platform preview is just what we call Trident, like really purely the rendering engine, not even as much of the rendering engine as you get if you run it inside of Windows Live Mail or another application that uses it. It's really the bare bones, and it runs side by side with Internet Explorer 8. In fact, it uses this very, very simple, like if you go to the program files directory that runs it, it's using this .exe.local trick that's available in Windows. And so it's incredibly lightweight, simple to use, and doesn't touch anything else on your machine. Right now, this is just for the preview.
Yeah, the preview gains a lot of its lightweightness by not being the system browser, which is what installs side by side, which is actually a great thing, I think. You're not at all risking, regular IE8 or on the machine by installing the platform preview.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. There's no direct connection right now. Their schedules are different than our schedules. So.
Can you repeat the questions?
Oh, I'm sorry. The question was, does Windows Phone 7 have IE9? And the difference in schedules would be that no, the Windows Phone 7 is not IE9. Well, with that, thank you all for your attention, and